So late one night, I'm sitting on my couch wondering, can you turn plastic back into petroleum that you can actually use? And I find this kid, 19, Julian, who's doing it. He built a reactor by looking online and seeing how to build a reactor. It's pretty crazy to me. So I was immediately such a fan of him. His content is amazing. I am so here for anybody who is just putting this level of dedication into something that they're so passionate about, and started following him everywhere. And a couple months later, maybe, I saw on his story that he needed a diesel truck to try out his plastidiesel in. Diesel made from plastic, yo. Like, by a 19-year-old, just what? I was just immediately like, I would love to meet him. I would love to like support this, and I don't live that far away. And you guys know I'm always down for a road trip, right? So I messaged him and asked if he'd found one yet. No luck. I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna buy a truck or a car or something. I could have a truck or a car. Kind of need a truck for the farm anyway. I'm vlogging. We're headed to Orlando to look at a 96 diesel truck. Yeah, there it is, I think.
That's not it.
No?
No, it's a great one.
She has multiple. We just looked at the first truck. Not exactly sold, like it would work, but there's another one a little closer to our house, so we're gonna head back, check that one out, and then we'll have a little better comparison, just because we actually would love to have a truck, and these trucks are so cute. We're gonna see if this one's a little better, otherwise we'll just snag that one and call it a day, and then hopefully it doesn't blow up. Truck number 2. Yeah, see, that one's cute too. It's blue, but it's not 4-wheel drive. This is the truck, a 95 Ford F350. We love it. So far it's been running really well. It should make it. It should make the trip. It's gonna be a full day of driving to Atlanta. So we did it. We actually secured a truck, and I took it to Atlanta. Coming to you live from Florida. This is my new mic. I'm definitely gonna have fun with this thing. We're about to take the Ford F350 to Atlanta to meet with the mad scientist, Julian. Hopefully we're not getting pranked, and we're gonna be the first plastidiesel vehicle, at least made by Julian. Wait, did that make sense? Big Baby Blue, do you have anything to say about this? She's excited. She's really excited to make history, and she's just super glad to be here. I'm really excited too, and it's gonna be a good time. She got new tires, and we fixed her up real good. She had a flat, she had some leaks, she had some other sketchy stuff going on, but we took care of it all. And how are you feeling? Fan-fucking-tastic, and we're gonna make it to Atlanta just fine. So we're about 2 hours away from Atlanta and where we're gonna stay tonight. And then tomorrow is the moment of truth. You might be wondering why I'm doing this. I see this kid that I'm really inspired by, and he's looking for a truck. I can totally get a truck. I need one anyways. I love road trips. I want to meet this crazy kid. It's like this kid is literally figuring something out, figuring out like a potential solution to a massive problem that affects all of us. And I think it's fucking badass, and I want to meet him. I want to ask him like how he got here, what's driving him. I'm so excited to get to ask him some of these questions tomorrow. I'm just excited to get to be around somebody who is exploring the questions of like, what can I as an individual do that matters to me and potentially matters to more than just me. The truck has been running really well. She definitely really likes us, so that's a bonus. Hopefully we get to actually drive it home also. That'd be extra cool. Oh my gosh, you guys. We just met up with Julian. He is so awesome. Staying in a little hotel tonight and gonna meet up tomorrow around like noon or something. And yeah, we're gonna do the whole thing. We're gonna go live, which I never do. Didn't realize, I guess he's been waiting to do this for like years, which is pretty crazy. So I'm super glad that we were able to team up on this and make it happen. And yeah, the truck drove so well here too, so I'm super thankful for that. Love the truck. I'm definitely emotionally invested in this now. But I'm gonna get some rest. All right, we just showed up. We're in the parking lot where we're gonna do this experiment. Last night he told us he has like a half gallon of it or something, so I'm not sure exactly how they're gonna rig it up, but it looks like he has some people here that know about cars. So I think this is definitely one of the top most random things I've ever done. I want to keep this up. I like it. Okay, girl. let's show them what's up. I know you got this. It looks like we're getting ready. We've got some Home Depot buckets. That's how you know it's serious, right? It's about to go down. Is that it?
It is the plastidiesel.
Oh my gosh. That's about to go in my truck? It looks good.
It's pretty. It got pretty dark because it's been sitting for so long. But when you pour it, it's like red.
Ooh.
Yeah. It doesn't smell good though, I'll tell you that.
That's probably a good sign. If it smelled good, I'd be a little worried.
One of my people works on cars, so that way I don't have to get my suit dirty. All I have to do is pour it in.
He's smart.
So at this point, we're just waiting on the camera crew.
Okay, cool. I got some NatureJab merch, so, you know, I gotta rep it.
So guys, what we're doing is we're taking the oil filter off and we're gonna get the real diesel out of here. We got the oil filter out right here. So what we have in there right now is real diesel. And we're gonna siphon this real diesel out. And once the camera crew arrives, we're gonna put the plastidiesel within this fuel filter and we're gonna turn this baby on.
Let's go.
Run the first ever car off a plastidiesel.
This is crazy. We're about to take the diesel that's in there out right now, guys.
Oh yeah, it's just different because I use microwaves. That's how I was able to get a patent on my unique design. I only have half a gallon of plastidiesel left, right? And the only way that we're gonna get this truck to run is if we put the fuel right here, which is the equivalent of putting it right into the engine, right? And then what's gonna happen is, that's gonna be the first thing that the engine sucks in and burns. So if this truck starts and runs, it's running off of plastidiesel.
No, I know.
Here we go, chat.
Oh, the truth.
Okay, so that's it. There's plastidiesel in the truck now, so there's no turning back.
Let's get all these plastics out of our ocean because we can run our world off of them. This is it right here. Proof. Plastic is energy. NatureJab. We're doing it.
Julian is in my truck. There you go.
Plastic.
Go, baby boo. How cute. How cute. Woo! You can actually smell the difference. Like, you can smell it's burning something else. She didn't care at all. She loved it. She's like, give me more. I'm scared. Smells like plastic a little bit. That's crazy. Wait, the smell is actually crazy. It worked, dude. You're like, I knew it would work. That's so cool.
Like, thank you so much. Like,
yeah,
I really can't even say thank you enough.
Dude, thank you. I'm so glad. So I just popped the hood and it literally smells like plastic. I don't know how to explain this, but not like in a bad way. It smells like,
I can't smell it. My nose is stuck.
it just doesn't smell like it would normally smell. Okay, I'm gonna smell this.
Man, I appreciate you stopping by for me, man.
Wow. Oh yeah, wow.
Woo,
Yeah, it smells different for sure. That's definitely what it smells like, burning out of the truck. Okay, so he did it. He did it. It worked. I'm really glad. We get to drive our truck home and use it on the farm. Now we are back at Julian's house and I'm going to see his reactor. I'm going in the backyard right now. I'm gonna see this thing. This is it.
This is it.
Wait, what? Look at this. Tell me that doesn't look like some Marvel movie thing.
Plastic would go in, and inside there's blades that spin. So this would connect it to a motor. So the blades would spin and let the plastic agitate and go up and back. And then the plastics would break down into a vapor because of these right here. These are magnetrons. These are what create microwaves. So I took these from actual microwave ovens and we turned these on. These are the fans to cool them. The plastic would be in here, heated up with the microwaves. It'll break down into a vapor and then it'll travel up these pipes and then go into filters and condensers to then further be processed.
So the way I understand it is you're the inventor of doing pyrolysis in this way with microwaves.
Indeed.
This is crazy. Like, how did you come about this process?
Well, it all started when I was in my junior year of high school. Okay. I had an injury, so I wasn't able to do much physical activity, and I'm always a very physical person, so I took that time to research. And I've always been environmentalist, so I started to think of, how can we deal with the ocean plastics? Because I saw that, less than 5% of plastics are recycled, and I asked why. Well, then when you really think about it, plastics get so dirty, like masks, medical equipment, plastic with food on it. You can't really take that and turn that into a new plastic because it's contaminated. So I thought the way that we can truly deal with any type of plastic is through something that universally, indiscriminately destroys all plastic. And the first thing you think of is fire. But we know what happens if you burn plastic. A lot of toxic emissions. So what's the next best thing? This process called pyrolysis, which is when you heat up plastic without oxygen in the environment. So a fire cannot form. The plastic cannot catch on fire. Instead, it breaks down into its basic parts.
What exactly is the problem with plastic and why are you so drawn towards finding a solution for this?
I think the biggest issue with plastics is in this world, plastic was such a magic product when it came out. It solved so many issues. It still is amazing, in everything that it's in. And the biggest issue is we've ramped up production to a crazy degree, but we never really figured out a way how to truly recycle it. In fact, there's like 7 or 8 different types of plastics, and the plastics that we actually do truly recycle, there's just 2 types really. So we barely recycle, but we produce so much, and as we know, it's non-biodegradable, and it's seen as a waste product, and that's why there's billions of pounds of it in the ocean. When I found out that it's made of crude oil, that's what really made me say, you know what? We have to extract the energy out of it. Nobody really cares about making another water bottle out of plastic if you know that you can make gasoline, diesel, jet fuel out of plastic.
A lot of people would say, okay, but you're still burning it.
Yes, we are still burning it. It is a fossil fuel because it comes from crude oil. However, with complete combustion and going through a modern engine with a catalytic converter, the real only emissions are going to be CO2 and water vapor. And as we know, CO2 is a greenhouse gas that contributes to climate change. However, CO2 is actually the most manageable greenhouse gas. The truth of the matter is plastic, when left out in the ocean or in landfills, it breaks down under photodegradation from the sun. It slightly breaks down and it starts to release methane and ethylene. There's research papers on this. And those things are far worse than CO2, like 40 times worse than CO2, when we can't get them back out the air. But CO2, we can plant trees, we can grow algae, we can suck it out of the air and make bricks out of it. So there's things we can do with CO2, things that we should be doing anyway, like planting trees. So that's handleable, but I don't think that what's manageable in our world is to continue this absolute disrespect of Mother Earth and the oceans by just needlessly having continents of plastic in the ocean.
Only 20, right?
Right.
So yeah, what is it driving you?
Yeah, what has driven me has always just been my connection with nature. I'm a gardener.
Yeah.
I always find myself forest walking and, just talking to the trees and stuff, right? Talking to my seedlings. And being in nature my whole life and just appreciating it, something I realized in nature is nature has this cycle, this universal cycle, which echoes throughout the whole universe, and that is no waste. Every single thing in nature becomes the food for something else, the energy for something else, because nature understands that everything is energy. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So if you're just throwing something away, you're losing the energy. You're kind of breaking that loop. So I say it like this: the trees fall off of the leaves onto the ground. Those leaves on the ground break down and turn into fertilizer for those same trees, for the next trees, and that goes on. It's just like the carbon cycle, the water cycle, the energy cycle. It's all the same. And we in society have not had the ability to do that because we have not had a true return to source of energy with plastic. All the answers that we need are right there in nature.
Do you feel like it's actually viable?
I do, and I'll tell you why, because the process of pyrolysis, turning things back into fuel, has been around since the beginning of Earth. That's how Earth turned algae and such into crude oil to begin with, right? The only issue with it on a technological level, when we as humans try to develop it, has been its efficiency. It hasn't been worth it energetically because it would take more energy in than the energy you would get out. So I innovated in the field from standard pyrolysis, which is when you just use a flame to heat things up, or just like resistive coils, like oven heaters pretty much, to heat things up. I'm not the first to do microwave pyrolysis. However, I'm the first to create a design of microwave pyrolysis that is scalable. Scalable on a level that it can be made as big as it needs to be, as small as it needs to be, and it's always efficient. So for example, this machine here, built on a home scale from scrapyard parts, handmade, the energy input for a run of plastic would be 25 kilowatt hours of electricity. And the output from all three products combined, the gasoline, liquid product, the gaseous product like natural gas, and then the carbon product, which is like coal and can be burned that way, together was 48.8 kilowatt hours. So we were getting almost double the energy outputs from compared to the input. So that was the number one thing holding it back, and that's why this is going to be viable, because as you make these machines bigger, it only becomes more efficient.
So you're gonna build me one or what?
Of course, right for your farm.
What exactly is your vision for this?
I want these machines to be in every single country, every single city, every single province on this earth. And I say that because I believe that plastic should be dealt with at the source. We don't need to have one giant centralized machine. These machines they're pretty safe when they're built properly, and ultimately they can be the type of thing that's like behind a store or something, right? So the store doesn't even need to have a garbage truck. They can just put their plastic right there. And I think that ultimately, if we have these machines so common throughout the world, there's not going to be any litter anymore, because when there's litter on the ground, somebody's going to say, that's energy, that's money. Let's take that. And I want to monetize plastic. You know how back then you could take glass jars, metal cans to the recycle yard, they give you a couple cents for it? Yeah. I want that to be the same with plastic. I want to monetize people collecting plastic, and I'm bringing it in. And I believe that having these machines everywhere and having them at the efficiencies they are, we can pay people to bring us plastic and completely not only remove all ocean plastics, but stop litter of plastics altogether, because it's money. Developing nations in Africa and in Asia, we in the US ship our trash to them, and it's littered full of it, and they also have shortages of fuel. So now not only are they going to be able to develop as a nation economically, but now they're not going to have such an issue with shortage of fuel, because this is creating fuel right there. They don't have to import as much because it's being created right there.
What is it like to be 20 in 2024? I'm curious, this is a little just more about you.
To be 20 in 2024, I never actually thought about that ever. To be honest, I never really thought about what it's like to be 20, because I certainly do feel a lot older than 20. I must say it like this: we live in the age of information and disinformation. I learned all that I learned not through any type of formal education or degree. I learned it purely online through finding research papers on Google. The truth of the matter is that we right now are in the times where we can be distracted the most, but we also can create the most, because we have the internet. And this generation and the following generation, Generation Alpha, we're so like technological with the internet, like we know how to use it so well. Babies know how to use it. So like if we apply our minds right to it and have the right motivation, every single person can end up, doing something like this, because we have all the information we need to right there. Like tons and years, millions of dollars of information just at our fingertips for free if you know how to look stuff up.
What does individual responsibility mean to you? How do you relate to that?
I think individual responsibility is huge, and it's one of the most important factors of how I was able to build this, because ultimately nobody is going to care about you as much as you need to care about you when it comes to anything you do. You know, ultimately we are truly responsible for what our life is going to be. We have to decide if we're going to go out there and work and achieve what we want to achieve, and to have that responsibility within yourself and that discipline within yourself to say that, you know what, I'm going to get this because I want to do this, and I'm not going to let things distract me. I'm not going to let, you know, the failures stop me. I'm just going to keep going until it happens. Just to have that within you, it's the keystone to doing anything, to being successful in any endeavor in this realm.
How can people help you and support you?
I do have a GoFundMe. I have a Patreon. I have a PayPal donate link as well. All those things are in my bio. Ultimately, the #1 way people can support me is by, you know, being engaged, watching the content, you know, engaging with it, commenting, just believing in the project, because ultimately, beyond anything else, if I don't do anything else, I want the whole world to know that this is possible. So many people don't even know that, you know, plastic comes from crude oil. So education is the best thing. So just being here is supportive.
Julian, what is the best part about being you?
A good question there. What's the best part about being me? I would say that the thing that I admire the most about myself is certainly my drive. When it comes to anything I do, whether it was this or my businesses before or gardening, when I want to do something, I make it happen because I work relentlessly until it gets there. I keep trying, I don't give up. You know, we just ran that diesel truck and I've been at that for 2 years. So many rejections, so many, you know, failures. But it was just the postponing of success ultimately, because it happens. So I think that's what I admire the most about myself, that when I want something, I just will never give up until I get it.
Good for you. An exclusive interview with the Julian Brown. I'm honored.
NatureJab.
We ran my truck on plastidiesel. I just love this video and the questions that it brought up for me. I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about this. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Check out Julian, he's fucking great. And I'll see you guys in another video. Peace.